If you watch to the end of this video, you will have the full system that allowed me to increase my show rate on my sales calls by about 40%. Now, this is nothing crazy, but when I show you it, it's going to absolutely blow your mind because you're probably not doing this, and the way you're doing it is probably not correct. Now, here on the screen, what we have is a workflow on Calendar. Now, you might be asking, I have automations up the wazoo. I have been talking to my prospects before they hop on the calls. I've been, having my touch points. I've been sending them emails, but I'm here to tell you, you're not doing it the right way. This is the number one thing that has moved the needle the most in my business. And I'm ready to share it with you guys. This is what I have in my inner circle. I share with my inner circle guys in CMRR. For those of you guys that don't know, my name is Patrick Thomason. I run an agency called CMRR where I help other agencies build a framework that allows them to add $20,000 in new MRR in the next 60 days. And we do this by installing funnels, frameworks, things like that. And we also guarantee 5 or 10 high ticket clients depending on your product or service. So I'm not going to get into that really quickly. We had 2 clients sign on yesterday, and we'll hopefully have 2 more today. We got about 4 or 5 sales calls. So just to kind of show you guys, this stuff works. I took over 70 sales calls with this framework. They were about 85% show up rate. So with that being said, I know what I'm talking about. Now, you might be asking, what is this? Okay, these are emails that are sent to the invitees before the meeting actually starts. Now, number one thing you're not doing is you're not sending enough. You need to be able to bombard your invitee with emails. Now, you're doing it the wrong way. You might have email automation set up, but you're not doing it in a way that actually brings them value. So think about it as if your prospect has 1,001 different questions before the call, and it's your job to answer all of those questions before they even get on the call so they're properly framed. And I learned this from one of my mentors who's an agency owner who's doing about $1 million a month in his agency. So it's your job as the business owner to frame them. I might be asking, I don't want to bug them. I don't want to, be up their ass about this other stuff. It doesn't matter because you're actually educating them. And I promise you, if you're giving them value and if you're helping them answer the questions that they have in their head, they're going to be much more likely to close, and they're not going to find that annoying at all. They're actually going to be thanking you on the sales call. Now, I've hopped on sales calls where people just would send the calendar automation to where it's like, attention, your call is in 24 hours. That gives out no value, gives out absolutely nothing. As you can see here, this is what I have 24 hours before the call. I set up for a call as a quick video for you explaining the exact system that we use to blow up your B2B or coaching offer. I reference this for a call tomorrow. So this is the shortest one that I have. Now, this is honestly not that much value. The really, really, really valuable ones come after that. So I think 16 hours before I have a really valuable packed one. It's on Calendar. Like I said, how does our recurring frameworks function? It should be how do our recurring frameworks function? And this is where you explain this stuff. People hear recurring frameworks, and I just answer it all in here. I say reconstructing your offer to high ticket offer, scripting, editing, running paid ads, optimizing landing pages for 5 qualified prospects to flow in daily. They help you construct backend systems to dominate once when you're signing clients at scale. And then I literally explain what exactly CMRR is in this email. So now they're 16 hours away from the call and they already know what CMRR is about. They already know exactly what I do, and they already know how to go about further questions. And so more questions pop up. And so that's why 4 hours later I have another one. I said, cold email doesn't really work. I said, look, if I'm being honest, cold email isn't really effective. We're trying to solve our clients. You need to simply build a framework. It's not the easiest thing. Here's a breakdown. So then I shoot them over to a YouTube video to where it shows a more in-depth breakdown of how I book 3 to 5 qualified calls. And then it's the flywheel. So I get them more nurtured into the flywheel that we're going to install into their business in 12 hours. And so every single email that I sent is sent with intention of helping them learn more about what I'm doing. So that was 12 hours in. Then we have another one. I think the next one it should be 6. I don't know where the 6th one is. Look at this one, 4 hours before. We'll do this one 4 hours before. And you can tell every single email, if you're watching this, you want to increase your show up rate and you don't know what to do. You don't know, you're booking in calls aren't showing up. Have 10 touch points before the call. If they book out 24 hours in advance, have 10 touch points. Send them 10 emails. I promise you, if they get an email every other hour, every other 3 hours, they will be much more framed. They will have a drastically higher increase of actually showing up to the call, and they will be framed. So this one is obviously what far as for who am I? And then I just kind of open up about who I am, where I'm from, where I used to work at Barnes & Nobles, spent 80% of my paycheck on books, had no clue what I was doing, had, concepts of a plan, but have no direction. When I started CMRR, talk about my story. Wasn't until I invested into a mentor, taught me how to build funnels. Then I started actually making money. $1,000 days happen, $2,000 days, $5,000 days is all true. And that's when I knew, could never go back. Then I talked more about my story. Bought createmrr.com out of impulse, was making concepts of a program that I imagined would change the world. Started marketing it, signed about 20 clients the first 2 months at CMRR, made it my core offer, built a framework, helped agencies, B2B guys, and coaches add 20K MRR, 30 days, 5 high-ticket clients using our current frameworks. Then I explained to them how we do it. And other emails I said, I just say, and that's the broad breakdown. Other than that, I just enjoy serving clients and making them a fuck ton of money. That's what I say. I say, think of me as a person that just walks in your business, hands you a money printer, and more cash than you can handle. So that I'm framing the call. Like a lot of you guys don't understand this. You have to be an attractive character. Russell Brunson talks about this all the time in his book, Expert Secrets, trafficsecrets.com secrets. He talks about if you want to build trust with your audience, if you want to close deals faster, especially on webinars, when he's pitching to thousands of people, he knows and he stresses the importance of becoming an attractable character to your prospects, to your audience, so they can resonate with you and build trust quicker. And if you don't do that, then you're just seen as somebody who's on a high pedestal, a high horse, somebody who's holier than thou, better than everybody else. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to meet you in the middle. I'm trying to say, look, I have this product or service that I know can change your life because I know it changed mine. Let's meet in the middle here. This is who I am. I'm from here, and I just want you to take a step forward and I'll take a step back. Then we'll meet in the middle. I'll show you what I can do. I'll present you the opportunity and then we can go from there. If it's not a good fit, that's totally cool. So when you frame the call like that, it's much less of a scary sales call towards like, your call is in 24 hours. Be prepared. Here's the link. Like, okay, cool. Thanks, man. And it's more of like, hey, this is who I am. Nice to meet you. A little bit about me is I, do XYZ. Want to let you know I used to work here. Started this after I invested some money into Mentor. Got my ass chewed out for a few years in the online space. Read a bunch of books. It wasn't until I, so I'm building the storyline of the attractive character, and people do not understand how important this is. Like when I tell you this is so important, this is what closes deals. It's not your objection handling. It's not how well your product is presented. It's not your guarantee. It's the trust. It's the trust with the prospect and the trust with you. So with that being said, that was 4 hours before, 3 hours before. And mind you, I have tons of these in calendars. You can see I'll have a lot of them. And I say never struggle landing clients again. Then here's where I talk about 3 common most questions. Is a cold calling program? Do you just show me how to use cold email? Do you just give me a course and throw me to the sharks? And I say no, it's a one-to-one program. Here's what happens after you sign the paperwork, and I tell you exactly what happens. Onboarding call, custom 30-day plan, access to the video modules on school, start taking action in whatever way we decide is best. By the end of the first week, you should already have 15 qualified appointments booked. If you're an action taker, your book and qualified appointments by day 1 and have the framework in place as well. Hope this clears some common questions, misconceptions. So I'm addressing questions because people hear, okay, I heard your story, Patrick. I heard CMRR, but is this like a cold calling program? And am I just going to join a course? Am I just going to join your core offer and you just tell me how to set up instantly an Apollo and start lead scraping and sending out cold emails? Is that all this is? No, it's not. It's a one-to-one program. I walk you holding your hand to essentially build out this 30, 60-day plan to adding $20,000 in MRR, and then sign those 5 or 10 high-ticket clients. So this is the exact verbiage that I'm using. I'm using I am doing this with you. I'm doing this for you. And I'm doing this to help you out as well. So as you can see, this was 4 hours before I hit them up, 3 hours before the call, I hit them up, 2 hours before the call, I hit them up, an hour before the call, I hit them up, and then 30 minutes before the call, I hit them up right here. This is the last email. And I had a prospect who jumped on the call yesterday. We actually closed him. And he was like, look, I've seen your YouTube channel, but I was really amazed with the automations that you have in place. And so he was like, look, I booked it on the call a few hours ago and I got like 4 emails. And I was like, yeah, we sent a lot of emails. And he's like, show me how to do that. I want to do that. I was like, cool, I'll show you exactly how to do it. This I'm showing you guys is kind of the bread and butter. Give it away on YouTube here. But obviously in the program, I tell you exactly what to say for your specific offer. So, you guys have the information here, but I sell the implementation, the actual copy that converts and exactly what to say for your own specific niche, because it does vary from niche to niche. You can't say the same thing I'm saying because it probably won't work out. You got to have your own twist to it, and it has to be in the right way. And so, and with that regard, that's why CMR is more hands-on, because I'm actually helping you script this stuff out as well. So this is 30 minutes before. I just give them these 2 killer case studies. I say Jack and Francisco took action on the call. They didn't hesitate. They didn't back down. They decided that wasn't enough. Enough was enough. They want to take action in the right direction. Then I tell them exactly the outcomes. Jack signed 10 high-ticket clients the first month. Francisco booked 30 appointments his first 30 days, etc., etc., etc. Final question to you is, how badly do you want this online business thing to work? And I say, blah, 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 you're only a few steps away from $2,000, $4,000, $5,000 days of your business. We take the action to invest in yourself and do just that. And so I kind of leave them with this sort of sentiment of like, look, are you really ready to take action, or are you just going to duck? Like, are you really ready to change your life? Because people have joined this program and their lives have been changed. Their businesses have been changed. They made a lot of money, but are you really that person? Like, are you really ready to do this for yourself? And so my hope to you is when you join on the call, I've put in the effort, as you can tell. I put in all these automation hours and stuff like that. It actually didn't take that long. It took I think maybe an hour or two to actually have everything. As you can see, if you take the time to do the little things in your business, this is when you'll see the exponential results. This is the best possible living example I can give to you of the 80-20 rule. This is the best example I think I've ever told you guys on this channel. 80-20 in your business. I'm spending 80% of my time, 80% of my effort, 80% of my clarity and focus on 20% of the emails, of 20% of this, because this is 20% of the business that makes up 80% of the revenue. Because if I frame the call correctly, if I have the right implementations in place of what's happening on the call, if I frame it correctly, they get to know me more. If I position myself correctly, and if I tell them exactly what is the expectations on the call, the expectations, how CMR works, how it's worked for other people, what this is not, what this is, and then how we do it. I provide so much information, so much clarity, and so much frame. By the time they hop on the call, the prospect should already be sold. That is the end goal. And so with that being said, this is the exact framework that I use to increase my close rate. I don't even know. It's probably by 40 or 50% at least. I had people literally comment on the first day of me using this automation, the first day of me literally just like making this entire sequence. They were like, dude, I got like 4 or 5 emails. This is crazy. And I've had multiple people tell me that since then. So with that being said, this is the bread and butter. Don't be the dry, your call is in 24 hours, your call is in 12 hours, your call is in 6 hours, join up here. That's selfish. Get out of the selfish mindset as a business owner and get into the value mindset as the entrepreneur. Get into the value mindset of, look, I want to provide my prospects with so much value that I don't even feel bad if they say no, because I know damn well I just changed their life for the amount of value that I gave. So in the emails, I do my best. Here's a case study value. Here's a case study value. Here's exactly, who I am. Okay, that's value because they know they're building more trust. Okay, it's kind of a selfless thing to do if you're giving them, game about what exactly it is that you're doing, how you're going to help them out. You're just giving them value on how you're doing it, and you're not asking. No more asking. Don't ask for anything. Just give. Okay. So with that being said, those are the automations. I have at least 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. So even up to 6 days before. So we do have 6 days before, 5 days before, we got 4 days before, we got 3 days before, we got 2 days before, we got 24 hours before, we got 16 hours before, we got 12 hours before, we got 4 hours before, 2 hours before, 1 hour before, 30 minutes before. So basically, if you book in on a call, it's the first thing down below. If you want to actually sign your next 5 high-ticket clients in under 60 days, you want to add $20,000 in new MRR to your business in the next 2 months, guaranteed, written in a guaranteed contract. Book in a call down below. It's a no-pressure call. We'll build the framework together. I'll tell you if it's a right fit. I'll point you in the right direction. If it's not a good fit, it's an absolutely no-pressure call. You make the decision. I don't. I simply just present to you the opportunity. I show you exactly how we build out systems and frameworks, run your ads, things like that, get you more clients, bang, bang, bang. Go ahead and fill out the first link down below. Join up on CMR, see if you're a good fit. Catch you guys in the next one. Hope this video helped. Peace.